F major. This chord is the queen mother of all chords that almost every beginner guitarist seems to dread. It's funny because the F major was actually not my arch nemesis. I actually love and respect the F major. It's more so the B major. If you actually watch my B major tutorial, you know my history with that chord. But anyways, I'm gonna show you a couple of different ways that you can play this chord. Obviously, the dreaded bar shape, and then I will show you guys an open alternative that you can try that's also just a really beneficial shape to know. So starting off, we're actually gonna build an E major shape. So hopefully you watched the previous video where I showed you guys how to build E major. Now what we're gonna go ahead and do from here is build it with our last 3 fingers, just like this. So we have our E major, and just move the shape up a fret. Now this is where the fun comes in. We have half the chord built already, but now we need to take our index finger and completely bar it over the first fret here on all of the strings. Make sure that you are using the side of your finger here. You don't want it to lay flat on like this. That's just gonna be way too hard and you're just gonna sit there and struggle. Also take notice how my index finger is curved. I'm not trying to keep it completely straight up and down. It has a nice little bow to it. So that way I can really just dig in there with my finger. It really helps you out. So just a little tip there. So when formed correctly, your F major should sound like this with all of the strings being played. Now, if you find this shape to be a little too hard, a little too painful, an alternative that you can try is the open F major. So what you can do is take your index finger to the first fret on the first 2 strings and do a partial bar. I am not the biggest fan of partial bars, just gonna be completely honest here. So what I prefer to do is just take my first finger, place it on the second string, my second finger on the first string, and that's how I like to do that. So whether you decide to do the partial bar or how I do it, we're gonna go ahead and move on from here. So we're gonna take our third finger and move it to the second fret, 3rd string, followed by our 4th finger, 3rd fret, 4th string. And from here, we're gonna strum from the 4th string on down. So altogether, it should sound like this. So as you can hear, that shape is much lighter and very crisp actually. It's great to have both options, not just, because one's easier to play than the other, but they're both different voicings, and so depending on a certain song that you might be playing, you might like the open one better, might sound a little bit better for that song than the barred version. And another thing is, if you are planning to be a gigging musician and you're gonna be playing 2 to 3 hour sets, you really don't want to be playing bar chords for the entire set. I don't think anybody becomes physically immune to the pain of playing bar chords. You just tolerate them better over time. You can play them a little bit longer than you could before. And then it starts to hurt again. So that is how you build the F major. Our last chord in our basic major chord series is the G major, which is a chord that I recommend every beginner learns how to play because it's basically everywhere. G major is everywhere. It is in so many songs. So keep your guitars tuned up and I will see you guys in the next tutorial.